Hello my loves, it's Monica and I'm so happy to be back. I know it's been a minute, but I'm really excited because I have lots of fun content coming up. Today, I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite cozy games that I love playing on my Nintendo Switch when I'm listening to audiobooks. I love audiobooks. Not only are they entertaining and fun, but they're also like an amazing accessibility tool. Like for me, when I'm reading physically, I often struggle with my mind wandering or like other thoughts breaking in, or even just like difficulty processing sometimes information, and audiobooks completely solve that problem for me because half the time when I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm also reading the book physically. It's very helpful. It's also why I'm really excited to be working with the listening app for this video, so let me tell you about that really quick and then we'll dive into the cozy games. The listening app is available across devices from desktop to mobile, and I love that you're able to customize so much, including the sound of the voice.
A convolutional neural network
is a type of deep learning algorithm that is particularly well suited.
I have a video coming up where I'm reading fanfic for the first time, and one thing about me is I have audio processing issues, so having audiobooks is really important for me for accessibility, and so I love the listening app because it makes fanfic accessible to me for the first time. You can easily adjust the speed.
If I discover so much as a hint that you have done anything else to undermine his agenda, I will report you immediately to him.
And I love how easy it is to bookmark and take notes as you're listening. Use my link down below to check out the listening app and get your first 2 weeks of listening for free. Thank you so much again to the listening app. Now let's talk about the cozy games. So yeah, half the time when I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm also reading physically, but then the other half the time I don't want to be, and I just want to like listen to the story, but I can't just sit there and do nothing, right? Like if you do that, please tell me. Please tell me your methods. But yeah, I cannot just sit there and like be staring into the distance. I have to be doing something if I'm listening to an audiobook. And one of my favorite things is to play video games. However, you kind of have to be careful with the games that you choose to play while listening to an audiobook, because you don't want anything that's too involved, that has a lot of reading, that also just like uses too much of your brain power, because then you're not going to take in anything that the book is telling you. But also I still need the games to have some sort of driving factor to it, because otherwise it doesn't feel that much different from just like sitting there and doing nothing. And I actually think having the right game to play while listening to an audiobook can sometimes like make you listen better. I don't know what it is, but it's like if you're tapping into the right part of your brain while playing your game and listening to your book, it'll just be like a euphoric experience, like reading unlike anything else. So these are all the games that do that for me, and hopefully they can help you guys when you're trying to pick out what game to play during your next audiobook session. So the first game is one that I never hear people talk about, but is probably one of my all-time favorite Nintendo Switch games. And like maybe it's a weird opinion, but like I have so many hours in this game, and it is also absolutely my favorite audiobook game, and it is the Settlers of Catan board game on Nintendo Switch. Again, maybe a weird pick, but this is genuinely like so well done. I don't know how they did it, but like the AI are actually like really challenging and fun to play against, but also like it levels up with you, so as you get better in the game, the AI gets more challenging. For me, I love playing Catan specifically when I'm listening to any sort of fantasy book. I know maybe that's obvious, but that's true. I love it. And for some reason, this is the one that like if I want a long reading session, like I want to read for a good hour, maybe more, Catan. I could play Catan for so long. There's something about the style, the specific type of strategic thinking that you have to utilize while playing Catan, that it like just keeps me so focused and like aware of what's happening in the story. Like it just helps me ingest the information better. If you've never played Settlers of Catan, it's basically this like really beloved board game, and the idea is that you like build roads and forts and things basically in a race with the other players to hit a number before them. I get that that does not sound like the most thrilling game, but I swear it is so good. If you've never played it, the board game, like Nintendo Switch board game, is also like, in my opinion, just a great way to learn how to play Catan if you've never played it before and you want to play it. Like, is it one for one perfect? No, but that was my first introduction of Catan before actually getting the board game physically and playing it actually in real life, and it was so helpful. It like made that whole process so much easier. So even if you just want to play Catan, I highly recommend the Catan board game. It's so good. The next one is kind of like a general genre of game that I like to play while listening to audiobooks, and those are like your Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, Disney Dreamlight Valley games. What I will do is I will just do a fishing spree. I will say Stardew is a little bit harder in my opinion to like do an audiobook and play, because like there's just a lot of moving pieces in Stardew, but I will just fish for ages. I'll just sit there and I'll just fish, and then I'll fish and I'll fish some more. Here's the thing, like just a fishing simulator would not cut it for me, because with Disney Dreamlight Valley and Animal Crossing, I know that I'm fishing in order to like get rewards, right? Because I like want to get more for the museum, or I want money, or whatever it is. Like I know that I'm progressing the game still, so it like keeps me driven to continue playing and reading. And it also like uses, again, the right amount of skill, but not too much skill and not too much brain power, so that doesn't distract me from the game, but it keeps me like focused, you know? Then we have Pikmin 4, and I've played the other Pikmin and I like them, but Pikmin 4 is the best in my opinion. It's so much fun, it's so cute, so charming, and I love it because when you're just like doing a bunch of tasks, like you're just going around collecting more Pikmin, it's super easy to just like focus in on that and like listen to your audiobook and like not really have to think about much else. There are some like cutscenes and things as you progress because you're like rescuing people and stuff, but you know, I just pause the audiobook during those and it's fine. You're basically part of this alien crew, and you're on this planet where you're trying to rescue other members of your crew while also like discovering the planet itself and like learning about species and the plant life and all of that. So you're going around, you're collecting all these Pikmin, and you're able to use Pikmin, which are these like cute little plant-like creatures, and you're able to use the Pikmin in order to complete tasks and solve puzzles. And I feel like it's the perfect amount of challenging without being like frustrating. And I also just like, I love the Pikmin. They're so cute. It's just like a really endearing, cute time. And if you like uncovering puzzles and exploring, it's a perfect game for that, because that's basically the gist of the game. I love playing Pikmin and those other games usually when I'm reading like more contemporary stories or anything that's more historical. I don't know why. I think it's like the nature element just kind of fits the vibe a bit better. Anyways, another game that I love is Cult of the Lamb. Now this one, you can argue whether or not it should be considered a cozy game. I personally find it to be, even though it is like kind of grim. This game is kind of like if you mash together Hades and Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing. Basically, at the beginning of the game, you are about to be sacrificed, but this god comes and saves you with the stipulation that you have to go and basically start his cult and gain followers and all of that. So you have this element of like a dungeon crawlers type of game where you're going through these different levels and fighting these like other characters, but it's like, honestly, I play on easy mode, so it's probably why it's easy. And then you have the whole like actually taking care of your cult element, so gathering resources and all of that. I just really love the game because it's so genuinely like creative and fun. Like I love that sort of mash of these two style of games that you wouldn't ever think to put together, but they work so well. Definitely doesn't have the cute wholesome vibes of other cozy games, but I feel like the gameplay itself has that vibe to it. There are some moments where you are going to have to read a piece of text for like additional information or instructions or whatever, but they're few and far between, and I find I'm able to like read a decent amount in between that happening. And honestly, I sometimes find it helps because then I can like take a little moment of a break from reading, almost like a makeshift Pomodoro method. So I find it to be really quite helpful actually to have those little breaks. Okay, this next one is like one of the only games like this on this list because it's just so good, and it's Fresh Start Cleaning Simulator. So here's the thing, I mentioned before that I don't really like games where there's no like driving element, and this one really doesn't have a driving element. I mean, there kind of is because you get to unlock things, but there's no real, you know, impetus forward, but it's just so satisfying to play. So basically it's what it sounds like. You're literally just cleaning. Have you ever watched those like videos on TikTok where people are just like cleaning rugs and you're like, oh, I wish I could do that? this is your game. This is your game. You're literally just cleaning up nature, and that's the goal. This is one that I will play a lot when I'm like at the very end of a novel. I am like all in, I am gripped, and I literally just need something to do with my fingers. Like, I don't want to have to think at all. I just need to listen to this story, but I still need something to do with my hands. And this is what I will play, because it doesn't take like really any brain power, but it's also really satisfying and keeps me like focused without like taking me away at all from the book. So yes, that's why I love this one. And again, it's just so satisfying. Another game that I really like to play when I'm listening to fantasy novels is Panorama. And in this one, you're basically like placing these little tiles to build out a world, and it's not really a puzzle, but like it takes strategy. So in Panorama, you are at the beginning given a deck of tiles that you're able to use in order to build up your world, and as you continue to put tiles together, you're able to earn points in order to make new buildings. However, you do want to be careful. Like, there is an element of like strategy and creativity that goes into playing this game, so you want to make sure that you're actually like earning points and not just like losing tiles, because once you've lost all your tiles, then the game is over. So I like this one because it's like really simple, but it's also like really engaging still, because again, I wouldn't be able to do just like a straight up like decorating or world building kind of game. Like, I need there to be some sort of like driving force or like some sort of actual gameplay to keep me like wanting to continue, you know? And this has that, while also having the like pretty world building element, which I love. The last two games are kind of interchangeable. I mean, they're different, but I play them for when I want a similar style of game. So the first one is called The Shape of Things, and in this one you're basically getting objects from a gachapon machine, and you are using various like ways of moving them around in order to make the object. And then the other game is A Little to the Left, and in this one you are basically tidying various spaces to make like satisfying cleaning content. Like, if you have ever watched those TikToks of people just like cleaning their fridges and like everything has its specific spot and it's so satisfying, that is this game. That is A Little to the Left. That is like in game form. That's what that is, and I love it. I love watching those types of TikToks, and I love playing these games. Wish I was better at it in my real life, the whole cleaning thing, but I'm not. So here, you know, we all have our faults, and that's one of mine. Anyways, love these two. They both scratch like a specific part of my brain that just loves to like have things orderly. Again, those are games that I tend to play like when I'm near the end of novel and I don't want to have to really think at all. I need to know what's happening in the game, and I just need my fingers busy for like a good 30 minutes. So that is when I will pull out those games, and they're so perfect for it. That I've finished so many novels playing those two games. It's not even funny. Anyways, those are the cozy games that I love to play when I'm listening to audiobooks. I would love to hear from you guys. Are there games that you play when you're listening to audiobooks? Please let me know in the comments down below. Or do you just listen to audiobooks without anything? Are you able to do that? Please let me know. And yeah, I'm just really excited for all of the upcoming videos that I have planned. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, leave a comment, because the YouTube algorithm is going to be very angry at me and the fact that I haven't uploaded in a few weeks. So if you wouldn't mind leaving a little comment, that would be lovely. Let me know what you're up to this spring, and I will see you next time. Bye!